Hello, uh, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Stuttering Professionals. And this is a project of ASO, which is Asian Association for Stuttering Organizations. And ASO is working worldwide to establish uh, collaborations and to work for the betterment of stutters. And this is a project of, say, Global Foundation. And in our today's episode of Stuttering Professionals, we have a very special guest with us, Miss Cherly King from Scotland, and she is a trustee of Scottish Stammering Network. And to know more about her, let's invite her, and let's hear the story from her. So I welcome you, Ms. Cherly King. How are you?
I'm perfect. Good, thank you, Ahmed.
You're welcome. So just tell us about yourself. Just give your detailed introduction. I have introduced you just briefly.
Thanks, Ahmed. Yes, so I am Cherly King, and I am from Scotland. I am a trustee of the charity, the Scottish Stammering Network, and have been since 2018. I've had a speech problem since I was 3 years old. Nothing around the trauma that people say that can be caused by trauma. My parents couldn't think of anything that would have caused it. When I suddenly started to block, they've obviously searched for maybe clues as to why it had happened. Was I up late at nights? Did I have early mornings? But there wasn't really anything. So they sort of took me to the GP, and they said at that age I would grow out of it and just hold on. Didn't happen. Around about the age of 5 or 6, I think they took me to a speech and language therapist. I think in other parts of the world it's called speech and language pathology. As a child, it didn't help me. I think my speech is more anxiety based, and I just don't think they covered it back then. I don't know what happens in the NHS with speech and language therapy just now, but back then it was just about the speaking. So at school I never felt like I belonged, I suppose, because I wasn't able to speak the same as everybody else. So I tended not to speak to people, which, looking back on it now, I didn't have a lot of friends at school. And I think that was down to the fact that I didn't speak to people. So my peers took that as I thought I was perhaps better. And they couldn't be more incorrect. I just wanted so much to be like them, and I couldn't, so I didn't speak to them. And So yeah, I hardly had any friends. I felt really isolated and on my own all the time. I couldn't make any telephone calls back then. I just couldn't do anything like that all the way through primary school. I didn't speak in class. I couldn't ask questions. There was an instance when I was about 10 or 11 maybe at school, and the teacher was asking the class questions, and it was quite an easy question and I knew the answer, but I just couldn't get the answer out. And I remember I felt at that point when I spoke, my tension was all up here, so I would do that and I couldn't speak through it. And the teacher, I remember her just saying, "What's wrong with you? Are you having a panic attack or something?" So unhelpful, because obviously everybody else then thought, "Oh, such a good, have a laugh," and so it wasn't very helpful. So I suppose then moving on to high school, it still didn't really get any easier. I was still unable to ask questions in class. I still didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't interact with people. I had a few friends from primary school who were with me at high school then, but again, not a lot, and I didn't really go out with them much either. Again, I still felt isolated, alone. It's not easy. I remember in those days in Scotland, we have quite a lot of parties on Hogmanay and January the 1st. And I remember my Gran always had a party and we had to be there, and I just didn't like them. I felt I couldn't interact with other people there either. I couldn't go off and play with my cousins, for instance, because I knew that I'd have to speak to them and I couldn't. So it's just so hard. So that was really me at primary school and high school. And I do recall at one point when I think I was 18, I think I must have been 18 or just over 18, and I wanted to enter a competition. And I couldn't, because it was at that point there was no internet. Crazy, isn't it? There's no internet back then. So it was all telephones, and I had to ask my younger sister to make the telephone call and pretend that it was me who was entering the competition. So when she did it all correct until it came to they asked her age, and I think she just automatically said her age, and she was about 14 maybe at the time, and I just was going, no, 18, and I thought, I can't even. Just things like that people do, you want to enter a competition, and I couldn't, and she did it incorrect, and I just, no, and just things like that, I couldn't even do that, and that's quite hard.
Yeah, like it does. Like for me, when in my childhood, I never bothered about stammering, but especially when in school and I had to speak loud in the class to read some text, then I might feel the stammer, or when people make fun. I think the rest of the time I was fine, and avoidance was not there so much. So because there was something inside me that pushed me to do things always and talk to people and be social. But yeah, as I grew up, then there was, because the more I was getting, mature and more conscious, uh, then I was able to feel that, okay, because when I was start building that the image, that what the next person will perceive of me, that start the pressure in the mind, and the stammering gets worse. So the more you are carefree and careless, then that's amazing. Then you
Yes.
don't have any pressure, and your stammering is very low, or sometimes you're fluent. In my high school, for 2 years, like, people didn't know that I stammer. They thought I'm fluent. So yeah. So these things are very interesting, that when you feel that, okay, I can't do this thing, so I should ask someone else to do, especially on the calls. That was the really hardest task to do, especially for me, since recently, like the last 3 years, I started to make calls as much as possible. So I'm getting better in that. But before, it was really hard one. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. So, uh, uh, how was your college? Did you feel more comfortable there, or you felt, that transition from high school to uh, college, and then university? So that was smooth. You feel much confident, or or, or the stammering, keep bothering you?
Yeah, no, I didn't gain my confidence until 2018. College, when I was at school, when I started asking what we wanted to do for a career after school, I wanted to be a chartered accountant. But I thought, there's no point, because no one is going to employ me with a speech problem. So I did accountancy, but I only did it to college. I did 2 years at college. Again, I suppose it was easier. I was 18, I was over 18 by then, so I was allowed to have alcohol. And for me, alcohol helped my speech and my confidence no end. If I'd had a few, I could speak forever, and some of the things I said was a lot of rubbish, but I was free to speak. I wasn't anxious. So I suppose college was slightly easier because I was able to make more friends in the pub. But I still never achieved the chartered accountancy. I did have a few positions as accounts admin. That was about it, really. I worked for a few companies, but I still felt that my speech was very much playing a big part. It was preventing me from doing lots, and I suppose I was very angry then. I still am to a certain extent about my speech. I always think, why me? Why did you pick on me? Why have I got this problem? And it's not until 2018 that I've decided that actually my speech problem has made me the person that I am. And I am a strong person because of that. But my anger led to depression, big time, and I've probably had it for about 20 years, and it's really just since 2018 that I've been able to get out of that. So yeah, my college days were slightly easier than school days, but they weren't easy. They weren't like everybody else's. I still couldn't public speak. I still couldn't ask questions in class. I could ask them in the pub afterwards, but I couldn't ask the questions in class. And I think if I'd been able to ask questions, I think I would have achieved more. My grades would have been higher, but that's hindsight now. It's history in the past, so I accept it. So yeah, it's not easy. It's certainly not easy.
Yeah, like if when I graduated from university, so then I made a list that these jobs, due to my stuttering, I won't be
able to do.
Yeah, number one, teaching, I won't be able to do that. Then, marketing, sales, because you have to meet people and you have to make calls and you have to convince people to do things, so to buy your product and so on. So I thought that this won't possible for me, so I make that cross too. So the jobs that require more speaking or speaking publicly, so I start crossing them. I won't be able doing that. But like after 10 years, when I started really working on my speech, and I started improving my communication, then I was able to step out of my comfort zone, then start doing each day something new. Now I did voice overs on ads, so so like, yeah, that I never thought that I will able to do that. I never dreamt of that. You sometimes you think, okay, one day I might be able to do something. You said, okay, I can't do that, and you never think of that, and one day you are doing that. So this is something really amazing. And the thing I have learned, as stammerers, we do have our fears that hold us back, but we do need to look into the eye of fear, eye to eye. And I think it's just all here, nothing else.
Yeah, it is. Yep, it is, definitely. Yeah, I think just before I turned 40, I started noticing changes in me. I started to notice that I didn't care so much about what I perceived other people thought of me when I spoke or when I got blocked. And it was round about then I was online, and I don't know what I clicked on, but it took me to a link for the Scottish Stammering Network, and they were meeting up. They always meet up in Glasgow round about Christmas time, and I got an invite, and I thought, I can't go to that. What if they have to speak? They're going to ask me who I am, and I can't say who I am. It's one of the hardest things to say. And I thought,
that's true,
I can't have alcohol, because then if I have way too much, I've got to get back home and it's an hour away. And No, I can't do that. I definitely can't do that. Can't. No way. However, I did pluck up the courage to attend their open day that we're holding in Edinburgh in April 2018. And that day changed everything for me. That was the day I accepted that I had a speech problem. And I was only able to reach that because I was in a place where there was other people who spoke a bit kind of like I did. And I just thought, wow, I'm not alone anymore. I'm not the only person. And that for me was just amazing. And I was just elated. I don't want anybody else to go through anything like this. I don't want any of us to have a speech problem, but just being there with other people who spoke like I did, it was just fab. It was brilliant. And I came out of that and I thought, I'm no longer isolated. And all the way home, I smiled all the way. People must have thought, what's she been on? Why is she so happy? What's happened? And so, yeah, all the way home, smiling. And I thought, I want to be part of that, of the SSN. And I wanted to have my own support group too. So about a week later, I think, I emailed James Stewart, who is our chairperson. He set up the charity in 2012, and he had groups going in Edinburgh and Glasgow over here. And I asked him if I could have my own, and he was happy about it. He said, yeah, of course. So in August 2018, I began my own support group, and I was then made a trustee of the SSN. One of my proudest achievements. So that was brilliant. And my one aim for my group is to help at least one person to not go through what I have.
Yeah.
It's not pleasant. It's a horrible place that you can end up in. So I just don't want that to happen to anybody else. And we advocate for people who have a speech problem, who stammer, and we're in the public eye. We're doing a lot. Everything that we do is free. No one has to pay anything to come along. Obviously, just now we're during coronavirus, so all of our groups are now online, and again, it's free for everybody. And then also in 2018, in the October, a few months prior to that, I happened upon it again. I don't know what I clicked on the internet, but I found the Starfish project, which, if you're not part of the UK, you maybe haven't heard of them. It's an intensive speech therapy course, which is held in England, and it has been for 22 years, and they've always charged the same course fees too, and it's run as entirely not for profit, and so I went along in the October, and it teaches you a coastal breathing technique, which when I do it, it does help. It's quite hard getting away from your automatic habits, the way you used to speak. So it's hard work. It's quite easy on the course because everybody does the technique. When you come home, it's not quite as easy. However, you have an extensive telephone list, and there's probably about 200 people on that, and you could call them up at any time just to sort of practice your technique, or if you've had a bad speech day, or you just want to say, I've had a great speech day. You know, we're there for each other, and I think, you know, that's helped me too. I can now go back on any course and I don't pay, which is brilliant. I've had to cancel them just now because of coronavirus, but I'm hoping to go back once it's back up and running, because we actually go down and we teach the course now too. We do it without any cost. We don't charge either, so that's good. And again, it's just given me more people to speak to. And before, when I wouldn't make telephone calls, I make telephone calls now, and I don't have an issue with it. I phone anybody now, I think, I'll just give them a call, and it's brilliant. I've got freedom. I've got my speech back, and it's a lot of times I just continue and forget to let anybody else in.
Like when we haven't accepted that we are a stammerer, so all the time we're just thinking that I'm not able to do this or that. Oh God, why is that? Oh, this is not fair. I can't do. Like when we accept who we are, so there is a feeling of acceptance. There is a feeling of, you know, satisfaction and love inside us. Okay, this is fine. This is me, and we smile, and then and there comes this next step then to improve ourselves. So that feeling, that satisfaction, this is something amazing that we haven't experienced all life. But the day we start, that makes our life amazing.
Yeah.
The burden we had here on the mind is gone. Now we are free. So even we stammer, we talk, and we enjoy that. But before, that was not enjoyment. That was like I'm speaking and it's a punishment.
Definitely, yeah.
So the training you are offering in the self-help group is by you, or it's given by a speech therapist?
No, the Scottish Stammering Network doesn't offer any treatment or anything like that at all. We're just there to help people. So we don't say do this. It's up to the individual. We're just there to really help people. We're there to empower them, to let them see that what you can achieve, or but we don't offer any treatments at all. There are a few of us. I've done Starfish. I'm the only one on the committee who has. Part of the SSN, we've got 3 speech and language therapists who are on the committee. They don't have speech problems. Everybody else has. And then I think we've got 2 people on the committee who have done the choir program, which is more international. So we've got everybody. We've got people who haven't done anything. We've got people who have just done speech therapy within our NHS. But yeah, we don't offer anything. We just say this is what is out there. You know, occasionally we'll have people in to do talks, but you know, it's open to everybody, and we don't say you have to do this or you have to, you know, we won't ever offer that. We're just there to help people out.
Yeah, like this is great. Like we are also running here self-help groups. So when our people come and I conduct the session and I'm also there. So this is a very special feeling because stammerers are there. They are discussing their issues and they are helping each other to solve them. And you also got a pool of stammerers to make calls. This is also good. So the thing I have learned with time that speaking and communication is like sports. The more you practice, the more you play, the more you will become expert in that. Like we see, actors when they are shooting a movie, they rehearse their dialogues for days, for hours, for months. They practice those dialogues. The one thing is the wording, and second thing how to deliver them. What will be your tone, your vocal variety, your face expressions, your hand movements, all those things. So for stammerers it is quite essential to practice that, because that's really good. Because when we practice in front of camera or in front of mirror, then we see, like, as we stammerers, the one thing I have seen in stammerers, they don't make eye contact. So because when they feel the block due to embarrassment or shame, they just turn around. They don't make the eye contact. So if we don't make the eye contact, then we are not aware of ourselves, that what are our face expressions, our hand movements, and what should be our tone, all those things. We do really miss that. So here we have started a Toastmaster club for stammerers, and that is also online, and we have next meeting on 23rd of August, and you're welcome to join and see how how stammerers practice and improve themselves to be better communicator and speaker, because this is my mission, to help stammerers to become good speakers and great leaders. So we have started this PSF Toastmaster Club with Toast Masters. So this club is very special. This is, I think, the fourth club in the world, and the first club in Asia in Toastmasters that is dedicated to stammerers. So this experience of last around 9 months, this is very special for me, because I have improved a lot in this time. Because the total focus is on communication, what to say, how to say, how will be the my tune, my vocal variety, uh, where I need to, speak louder, and where I need to, slow down. Listen to me. So all those things, So when you joined SSN and started all those activities, so what change you felt in your life? Because before you were just living for yourself. When you thought that you don't want to just live for yourself, but you want to help others to make their lives better. So how was that transition? How that made you feel? And how all this, helped you improve your life and your stammering?
It's given me so much more confidence. The day after I came home from the Starfish project, the Scottish Stammering Network, they had their open day in Glasgow, and because I was a part of them by then, I was asked to do a speech. If he'd have told me the year before that I would have been doing a speech to over 80 people, I would have laughed at you. Yes, no way would I do that. But I did. It was wonderful, and the comments I got after my speech were just great. It lifted me completely. I was told my speech was heartfelt and inspirational, and there were a few people crying. I think they were more sort of happy tears, though. They weren't upset. They were maybe upset about what had happened to me, because I did go on about my past. So yeah, it was good to hear that. Since then, I've arranged my own open day, and I've spoken at that too. I have taken part in an event organised by us with speaking circles and international. Lee Glickstein, who owns speaking circles, was actually on holiday over here, and he made contact with us. So as a charity, we paid for him to come along to one of our evenings, and the workshop that he did was great. It just gave me more to practice with my speech. Being on Starfish, it does teach you about maintaining eye contact, breathy tones, and smiling, which does help, because the tension isn't there if you do all that. And so he took that one step on and just told you that just speak when you want to speak. Don't feel like you have to jump in with an answer because you've been asked a question. Take your time, look at the person, make the eye contact, and then speak, give them your answer. And that has helped me too. I have now also joined Toastmasters. I'm not actually a fully fledged member. Nice. I've been along twice, I think, now, so the next time I need to become one. So that's going to help me, although I've now got the confidence to speak. I don't feel like I've got the quality, because I didn't speak up until 2018. So I'm not a good speaker, perhaps, because I don't know how to speak. So that's going to help me. But yeah, and now I've also featured on podcasts.
Nice, that's nice.
We have got our own one called and on that note, and it's, you can get it on iTunes, you can get it on Spotify too, I think. So I think I'm featured on episodes 1, 2, 3 and 5 possibly. So that's something that I never thought I would do either. That was, for me, that was really hard. Speaking to people that weren't there. Yeah, I couldn't make eye contact, Julie. I could make eye contact with others, but that was quite tricky. But it was good as well. It's another thing that I've achieved, and all because of my acceptance, as you said too. To me, that is the crux. Until you just think, to hang with it, I've got this problem, it's exhausting, so just accept it. And it just makes life so much easier, and I'm getting to a place where I'm more comfortable with my speech. It's a work in progress, but I will get there, hopefully.
Yeah. like especially the feeling, like something that you never thought that you will be able to do, but when you do that, and there is feeling like we thought that we won't be able to make a speech, and we made a speech, or I think we won't be able to do a podcast, and we do. So tell, how is that feeling? How much it empowers you.
It definitely empowers you.
Yeah,
Definitely.
the rush you feel in your veins. So I have done something that I have never thought of. Wow, I've done something great. Hurrah!
Like pat on the back. Well done, me.
Yeah,
definitely.
Exactly. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like now, these 2 years, and you have changed your life. And when you look back, what do you think?
If I could go back and tell myself back then, I would say to her, look, you'll be fine. It's going to be hard, but you'll get there, and you'll come to a place where it'll be obvious to you that you're a strong person, and that's because of your speech problem that's made you like that, and you're going to achieve so much, and you're hopefully, I don't know yet, but you're hopefully going to help so many people too. I think doing what I do now, being a part of the SSN, and I think our community is fantastic. I think we're changing. I think we're getting out there a bit more. We're finally finding the confidence to do what we find the hardest, and that's speaking. And we're speaking about our speech problems, and I think it's quite interesting. I think it's going to lead to a lot of changes. I do, honestly, our communities, there's so much help out there now. We've got the internet now, which I didn't have, so things are so much easier now too. there's some fantastic groups out there that could help you online. I think for anybody who's finding it hard, that would be my first point, would say to you, join a few of the good groups online. You could ask a question on any of these, on any of them, and I guarantee you within an hour you'll have 20 answers, all with different answers, all of techniques that you could use, things that's helped them, things that's not helped them, you know, and a lot of the stuff that you'll get back will be free, because a lot of the things now are online, so it's free. And just, I would say that to anybody, if you're, even if you're at a place that you're happy, just go on anyway, because you might be able to help other people. Because I've always, to me, I think going to traditional speech and language therapy, I went back as an adult too, and I think I was in my 30s, and it didn't help me again then, but I don't know whether it would have helped if I'd have reached my acceptance. So, but I've always thought that it's not just my speech that's the problem. I think it's everything else behind that too. And I read a fantastic book a couple of months ago called Redefining Stuttering by, you know, the fantastic John Harrison.
Yeah, by John.
And I read that book, and honestly, I thought, he's writing about me. How, you know, everything in it, I thought, that is me. That's how I was. That's how I am. And I do believe that my speech problem, most people's, are not just their speech. It's about the hexagon that he's created.
Yeah.
Your perceptions, your beliefs, your behaviours, and it's linked, and you have to, I now analyse when I've had a bad speech day, I analyse it, I go back over it, and I think, why did I act like that? What happened? Was I anxious? Was I upset? Was I angry? And I'll look at things and it links in, and I now believe that that is helping me a lot now too. And if I could tell anybody too, you could get that book for free online, and everybody read that book. If you can't do anything else, get that book. Seriously, it will help you. I tell everybody, get that book, read it.
Yeah.
Because it just, to me, it's everything. It's helped me a lot. I've actually got him coming along to one of our groups in October, so that should be good. We'll get him along, ask him some questions, get some answers.
Okay.
That'll be good.
Yeah. In October, John is coming to Scotland.
No, we'll be doing it online.
Okay.
We can't do anything like that right now, and he's way too far away. I think he stays in California, does he not?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think he's well into his 80s as well. So no, we're just doing it online.
Yeah. This is the safest and the easiest way.
Yes, definitely.
Online.
Yes.
So, like if I share my own experience with you, like around 3 years back, I decided that I don't want to feel the fear anymore. I want to become fearless. Since that day, and especially the 6-7 last year, when I started the stammer talk. That's the the uh, uh, self-help group, and that has grown into Pakistan Stammering Foundation, and now we have started the Asian Association for Stuttering uh, organization. So all this journey, the one thing I have learned, like when I have the stammer, I have to analyze my thoughts, like that I have stammer, and that is okay to stammer, and that made me more relaxed, and I have now more control on my speech. Even though I stammer, I don't feel the guilt. I don't feel frustration uh, or shame. I feel that like this is okay to stammer. So this is the one thing to keep checking your thoughts. Like sometimes you're sitting and you get a surge of fear, and you have to check that why I got this surge of fear in my mind. Is that necessary, or this is the learned behavior that the thought process I have developed uh, over time due to my stammering. So this is not just about the speech. This is also about to change your mindset.
Yeah.
So that takes time, and you are doing an amazing job, and I'm really impressed.
Yeah, no, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with me too. But yes, it's up here. You have to get over that. You need to do what I do, maybe, and analyze things. Again, I'm now more positive too, and that was from another book that I got last year. It's called The Secret, and again, if people are not positive, I would read that book too. That's just changed everything for me too. What you think happens. So if you think all the time, oh, my speech is terrible, I have bad speech day, you'll always have bad speech days. If you think my speech is good today, you'll have more good speech days. And that's how I look at things now. I'm so much more positive. I'm such a happy person now. I never used to be like this. I mean, I still get my odd, my speech is terrible, I need to put more effort in. And I think I've still got, because I've had so much help from Anne and David Blight, who runs Starfish, I think when I don't use the technique, and they're probably got this on right now, and I apologise, because I do think just use your technique because it works. And so I get that sort of sometimes, but because I've had my speech problem since I was just a few years old, I do have a lot to put in to get away from my old automatic habits and how I used to speak. And we up here in Scotland, we speak fast. We speak really fast.
Very fast, I know that.
Yes, and I hope I've slowed down so you understand. I've tried to cut, we're doing these kind of things too. I try and speak more proper, not use our slang. We use a lot of slang up here in Scotland as well. So I try and speak more properly so that you know what I'm talking about most of the time. Because we could go away and have our own conversations, and most people wouldn't have a clue what we're talking about when we start at our Scottish slang.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So yeah, so I suppose this is all helping me. But I think I need, for me personally, I do think I need to put more effort into using my technique. Because it works. It does work. And then if I get to a stage where I maybe don't need it anymore because I've got so much positive speech that I don't go back to my old habits. So
like
that makes sense.
the speech techniques are just like these spectacles, these glasses. So if you don't wear them, you don't you can see, but you won't be able to see, clearly or effortlessly. There will be a strain on the eyes. So this is like that. So when I'm not sleeping, I am awake. My eyes are open. I just wear them so that I feel comfortable and I can perform my task easily. The same way, we apart from sleeping, when we are awake, till the time we sleep again, we always communicating at home, on phone, at work, at store, while doing some shopping. All the time we are communicating with people. So these techniques are like, spectacles of the tongue.
Correct.
So we should use them, and we should feel proud that we have used them. We have done something special. So this will make us more confident to use our techniques in front of people. This is the real thing. Like in the self-help group and with stammerers, we are talking call or we are meeting, and we are using techniques, that's fine. But the real test is to apply them in daily life in front of people. This is the main thing. If we're not able to do that, then there is no use of them, the techniques. So this is a thing I'm trying to do, that to apply these techniques in real time. And and we try to do that, especially in the PSF Toast Masters Club. Like this, the club is open. We have stammerers and we have non-stammerers. Both take part in the speeches. So there is the safe environment, but still it's a real-time pressure. So you have the ease to feel comfortable and to apply those techniques. But the more we apply, the more we will become, you can say, we will get more grip on that techniques. It's like you can say, if we are playing cricket. So the more we play, the more we will become skillful. This is the way. The more we apply the techniques, the more we will be skilled in speaking without making an effort. Like for stammerers, I feel that to be fluent is this should not be the goal. The goal should be to speak effortlessly, so that you can speak with comfort at any place and with anyone. So I think this is the way to do it.
I think you need, it's not really about becoming fluent, because there's very few people who actually are fluent anyway. I think you as a person need to just get to a place where you're comfortable with your speech. Whether or not you use a technique, just get into a place where you're happier with the way that you speak. And I think whether or not you use a technique too, I think we do need to keep speaking in public, because we need to educate the public that, you know, this is just a way to speak. There is no correct way to speak. So therefore, how we speak is not incorrect. So yeah, it's just keep speaking, keep talking,
That's
keep
true.
talking.
That's true. Even non-stammerers are not
Fluent.
fluent. They stammer, they stumble upon words. They use all those things.
Right.
So you can say, if you're thinking of, there is some perfect speech that does not exist. Like if you watch movies, so if a person is speaking is delivering a very good dialogue with all the tune and so many things, so just see that how much effort he or she has put to be able to deliver that one sentence, how much that person has practiced to be able to give this good sentence in one shot, in on the camera. So this is all about practice and practice.
Right.
The
Yeah.
more you do speech practice, and the more you open it to people and grab the speaking opportunities in front of people, then your progress will be more quick and fast, and it will be exponential, not linear.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
So what you would like to share with stammerers, like you have your own, your past experience and things you have learned in these 2 years, what you like to uh, um, uh, recommend to stammerers?
First of all, acceptance. If you've reached, adulthood and you've still got a speech problem, accept it. You're probably always going to have it. You may not, but accept it. To me, that is the first answer. Once that happens, everything just becomes so much easier. I'll again try to join a support group if you can. Now is the ideal opportunity for anybody anywhere, because most of them are now online, so you don't actually have to be in the country that's hosting it. We're open to anybody who wants to come along. Obviously, you've got to check the time. That's the only issues. You could find us on Facebook, and then you'll get the invites. There are other ones out there too. Join as many groups as you can online. There are some that are excellent, and ask questions. If you can, record your questions and post them like that. It's pushing you. No one's going to come back and say, oh, your speech was shocking, or it's not going to happen. They'll all come back and say, well done, go you, that was excellent. And the answer is, you're going to get so many answers, you're going to get so many options. Most of them will probably be free. What I would say is, if you're wanting to try a technique or something that you pay for, look into it before you do anything. Anything that offers a cure, steer clear of, because there is no cure. To me, there's no cause, so there cannot be a cure. So steer clear of anything that claims that they're going to cure you, because it probably won't happen. For the paid courses, if you think it's too expensive, don't book up. There's plenty of options out there. The coastal breathing is not owned by any course, so you could get that online too. Yes, it's easier if you're practicing with other people who know the coastal breathing technique, but if you can't get on a course, if you can't pay for any of these, then just look up online. It may help you. Although we all have speech problems, how we feel about it is individual to us all. So no one technique is going to help everybody. So that's why I say ask your questions and get the answers. Use the techniques or the help that will help you, and the stuff that doesn't help you, ignore it. There's not one thing that's going to help us all, so take bits out of every course, or even if you just take the eye contact, that's going to help you. Even if you just smile when you speak, that's going to help you. Just use bits out of everything and read the books that I've said, because seriously, they help. Especially Redefining Stuttering, which is free for everybody. Read that book. And stay positive. I suppose that's another one. Even if your speech that day or that hour has been terrible, by that time it's in the past, it's history, so who cares? And I do think that we come home and we think our speech today was horrible, I just blocked all the time, and when if go back and analyse it, and I bet you 90% of your speech was okay, and there was 10% that wasn't. So don't be all, oh, my speech is bad and I'll never cure this, I'll never get any better. You will. Just stay positive and accept.
Yeah. This thing start from acceptance and then goes on.
Moves on.
So,
yeah.
So from my own experience about techniques, like if you really want a technique to work on you, then you have to believe it, then it will work. And you have to apply it wholeheartedly, without any guilt or shame. You have to apply it all the time and everywhere. This is the only way we will be able to master it. And then when you really need that technique, when you are under pressure and you are having blocks, then you will be able to apply that technique. So for that, you have to really master it.
Yep. And it's not instant either. You don't get a technique going at the course and it's instant. It's not. It's hard work and patience, and it's work in progress, and it'll take as long as it takes. I know people who have done the course that I did, and it took them months just to master the eye contact part of it, but you get there in the end if you put the effort in, and I haven't been, so I'm going to definitely start putting in the effort before I go back down on Starfish next year, hopefully. When we could go on aeroplanes again without face masks. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's all about patience and effort, but before all that, acceptance.
Yeah. Yeah, like I have seen many stammerers, and when they contact me, they said they want a cure, so they want to get rid of it. And I tell them there is no cure, but you will be able to manage your stammering, and you will be able to speak effortlessly. So this is a thing. So whichever speech therapy program you are taking, or you are doing a speech therapy, or you have learned a technique and you are applying that all change that will come and you will reach toward your fluency, that all depends on you. No one is able to make you feel fluent or a better speaker. They can only guide you. This is you, only you.
Yeah, correct.
Who can change your life. So all the courses, all the therapies, they are just guidance. You are the one, you have to work hard to apply them, to practice, and to master the new way of speaking. Only then you will be, fearless.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Thank you, Cheryl, for giving us time today. That was, really great and pleasant that you were here and you have shared your life, your ups and downs, and then you share your up, and you are still going.
Yes. And it's not such an incline now either. It was like that. Now it's more like that. So I'm getting there. Long way to go, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, and we want that. You won't be, like that. It will be, more steep and more
just a nice incline.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not even linear. So we want you to progress in leaps like that. Jump, and jump.
Yes, definitely.
Up and up.
Yes.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you so much. So now I'm going to
thank you for inviting me.
My
thank you.
Pleasure, and thank you so much, and hope to see you soon again.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Yeah.
Take care then. Thank you.
You do. Till then, take care.